name's Jimmy and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to cook scallopini. It's not going to be veal scallopini, it's going to be a chicken scallopini. It's going to have some white wine, some chicken broth, some half and half mixed with a little heavy cream, some sliced mushrooms, some shallots, some fresh parsley, garlic, salt and pepper to taste, and my favorite, scallopini chicken. But I can't forget the most important ingredient to this scallopini, and I'm going to be adding some saffron, which is one of the most expensive spices on the face of this earth. We're going to add just a little bit to this chicken scallopini to change it in its whole new direction. I'll get our chicken so we can pound it thin. Scallopini actually means real thin cut slices. So scalpel, scalp, very thin. So when you go to the butcher, ask him to cut the chicken breast laterally in half, then bring it home, fold it over in wax paper, give it a couple of pounds to get it really thin so it cooks really quick in the skillet. So that looks good. Already have some over here. It's already done. So it cooks real quick in the skillet. Okay, so the next step is add salt and pepper, just to season it slightly. Chicken always needs a little seasoning. On the other side, we'll do the pepper again. We used to have an automatic pepper grinder, but it stopped working this morning, so we're using the manual one. Now the time we'll put a little bit more salt on there. Okay, we're done. And there's one last thing I want to put is just a little bit of Italian seasoning on one side, and one side only. I don't want to overpower the sauce that we're going to do, so I'm just going to do a little Italian seasoning. Next step is we're going to quickly put this in a pan and cook it on both sides for 2 or 3 minutes. Next step, we'll just add some olive oil before we put the chicken in. Just a couple of tablespoons full to the skillet that's heating up. And then this will be the same skillet that we use to make the sauce in after the chicken's ready. So let's see if it's getting hot yet. Yep, it's almost ready. So our next step will be to add the chicken, cook it in the skillet, and then we will cook the sauce in the skillet after the chicken's done. We're going to brown this on both sides, probably for about 4 minutes on each side, and then we're going to remove it and keep it warm until the sauce is ready. So again, the trick to this is having real thin pieces of chicken breast meat, just like veal would be. It makes a very tasty meal. You can smell it sizzling out already. Get all the little pieces in there, and then we'll be able to scrape up the bottom parts before we put the white wine in there to create the sauce. Okay, let's flip it and see what's going on here. Oh, that's looking good. This is going to be in the oven for about another 10 minutes, so we want to cook it, but not overcook it. Again, thin pieces of meat is the way to go on this scallopini. The pepper and the salt are all running together with that little bit of Italian seasoning that's going to make this dish just really good. Get them all turned, browned on both sides. And we'll be set to go before the sauce. So what we'll do is we'll take out the chicken cutlets, pounded real thin. What we'll do is we'll put that in the oven at about 175 just to keep it warm while we make the wine sauce. And we'll use the drippings from the chicken to help make the wine sauce. Now we'll move it into the oven. We will tin it with foil really quick so it doesn't dry out. Put it in the oven on a low setting, about 170, while we make the white wine sauce. So chicken, have fun, get ready for the party. We're gonna add the shallots and the garlic to the drippings from our chicken and about a tablespoon of butter that I've already put in there. So now we'll put the shallots in. And the shallot, again, it's kind of a cross between a onion and garlic. So it's milder flavor than garlic, but I think a better taste than an onion. So we'll turn that up just a little bit. Actually, we'll turn it on. And we'll cook the shallots first until they're about done, and then we'll add the garlic, because if you cook garlic too long, it becomes really bitter. There we go. Get out of there. We'll let that cook for about 30 seconds. We don't want to burn the garlic. Now it's time to deglaze the pan with about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of white wine. Use a, not a cooking wine, but use some wine that you had left over. So we'll do that. And we'll cook this down till it almost evaporates. And then we'll add the rest of the sauce and we'll be done. Smell that. So now we'll add the chicken broth. Probably don't need a full cup. And we'll let all those flavors come together, the shallots, the garlic, the wine, the chicken broth, and the chicken scrapings. Now, right before we add the saffron, this is really cool. This is a saffron flower, and it's got 3 stigmas. And that's actually the saffron spice, which you see right there. And it takes 75,000 of these flowers to make 1 pound of saffron. So that would take a football field full of those flowers to get 1 pound of that, which is why that's $16 for about that much saffron. But it does make it taste really good, so it's worth it. So we're gonna add this saffron in there, just crunch it up. Say goodbye, enjoy the party. Which is gonna turn the dish a really cool looking yellow. It's really used a lot in Indian food, especially in Iran. I can already smell the saffron. See, it's turning yellow. Next, we're gonna add the sliced mushrooms. And we'll slowly incorporate these mushrooms into the chicken broth and shallots and garlic and white wine. We won't let this cook too long before we add the half and half and heavy whipping cream, because this will really soak up the broth. We don't want it to soak up too much. Again, look at the yellow hue from the saffron. Kind of cut up those larger chunks of mushrooms. There's saffron right there. 1 stigma, 3 of those per flower. Okay, so now let's add the next to the last ingredient before we add the fresh parsley is some heavy whipping cream, and probably about 3/4 of a cup of the half and half and heavy whipping cream. Again, see how that yellow hue shows up from the saffron? What we'll do is we'll let this simmer for about 10 minutes and let it get good, thick and creamy before we pour it over the chicken scallopini and serve it with some fresh pasta. Look at that yellow. And then there's the saffron. Now for the final touch to our chicken scallopini sauce. White wine, mushrooms, saffron, half and half. We'll put some chopped parsley. You can either use the crinkle parsley or the Italian flat leaf parsley. They were out of the Italian flat leaf, so I'm using the crinkled. Put that in there. Mix it up together, let them all party together. Now the yellow and green. Wait till the sauce thickens just a little bit and we're ready to eat. Okay, let's spoon some of our saffron sauce over our chicken scallopini. A great alternative to veal because veal can sometimes be expensive. This is great. Just tell your butcher to cut that chicken in half, pound it a little thin, and you've got some great chicken scallopini. Perfect for any weeknight or romantic dinner. Can't wait to eat.